is going on YouTube? This is just my opinion, and normally I do album reviews and that sort of thing, but for this video I decided to do something different. As we all know, Avicii, one of the most popular DJs and EDM artists of the past decade, has just recently passed at the age of 28. So I decided to make this video in remembrance of him. My top 10 favorite Avicii songs of all time. But before I get into that, some background of the legend Avicii. From Sweden, he started DJing around 2006 and started producing, but it wasn't until 2011 with his breakout hit banger Levels that he broke onto the scene and became a superstar in the EDM world. Right when EDM was peaking, this came out, and this was unescapable and undeniably awesome. Amazing progressive house tune that broke his career over the top. It peaked at #1 on the US dance charts and also got him a Grammy nod. As well, in 2012, he got a Grammy nod with David Guetta for their collaboration they did on Sunshine. He started putting out a ton of singles and remixes and promo tracks, all leading up to his debut album True, which came out in 2013, which featured the mega hit Wake Me Up. This is the biggest song of his career, peaked at #4 on the Billboard Hot 100. Featured Aloe Black. It was a house song that also fused in elements of country and soul, and this again was an unescapable song. Could not go anywhere without hearing it. And in between then and now, he's still been putting out music here and there, even co-producing songs, biggest of which was Coldplay's A Sky Full of Stars. But it was around this time in 2013 and 2014 that his health really started to take a toll on him. From 2012 to 2014, he had to cancel a slew of shows that he was supposed to do due to pancreatitis, which is inflammation of the pancreas due to his excessive drinking. This eventually led to his gallbladder and appendix actually having to be removed. Now, even though this is all going on, he was still putting out music. He put out his second album, Stories, in 2015, but it was shortly after that, in 2016, at Ultra, where he announced a week later that he was going to be retiring from doing shows due to his health, and his last show was actually in August of that year, 2016, in Ibiza. But he was still gearing up and trying to make more music. In 2017, he actually put out an EP, a short little EP, and was in anticipation of putting out his third album this year. But unfortunately, we will never hear that album due to his recent death. Still no clear reason as to how he died as of yet. Mostly probably medical. And it's truly sad. His impact on EDM and music was undeniable, especially during the rise of EDM from around 2009 to 2013. But with that being said, let's make this a happier video. I'll be counting down my top 10 favorite songs by Avicii. Again, this is my favorite songs by Avicii. This is not his all-time greatest works based off of streaming and Billboard. This is just my favorite personal songs by him. So at #10, we have Hey Brother, which came off of his 2013 album True. It was an amazing mixture of both bluegrass and progressive house music. It also had an amazing vocal performance. It's another one of his biggest hits. It reached #1 that year on the US dance charts, and it also peaked at #16 on the Billboard Hot 100. At #9, we have Fade Into Darkness. This was actually released in 2011. Originally titled Penguin, was just the instrumental version, but then once the vocals came on, it got changed to Fade Into Darkness. This actually got sampled by Leona Lewis for the song Collide, and there was actually a lot of legal issues during the process of making that song. A lot of stuff had to be cleared that both sides were not agreeing to. Ultimately, everything got squashed, and she wound up releasing the song with co-production credits by Avicii. At #8, I have Street Dancer, which came out in early 2011. It is a big room house anthem which actually features amazing sampling from the Break Machine song that was released in 1983 called Street Dance. I strongly suggest you check it out if you have not heard this song. At number 7, I have Seek Bromance, which came out in 2010. It features an amazing vocal performance by Amanda Wilson, and this is actually my first introduction to Avicii. This song, absolutely an incredible progressive house anthem. I get very nostalgic every time I hear it. Came out in my early college days, so it always brings me back to those times. And speaking of my college days, at number 6, I have Levels. Of course, came out when I was in college. It would have been a cliche if I had put this at number 1, but it would have been erroneous if I had left this off this list completely. Probably the biggest progressive house anthem of all time. Arguably one of the greatest EDM house songs ever made, and what it's done for the culture of EDM music, period. Overall, just an outstanding track that will stand the test of time as far as the EDM world. At number 5, I have Super Love, which was released in 2012, is actually a remix of Lenny Kravitz's Super Love, which turned out to be more successful than the original song. Two names that when it came out I did not think I would ever see colliding together, but this song is great. Another amazing progressive house jam. If you have not heard this, I definitely suggest checking it out. At number 4, I got You're Gonna Love Again, which came out in 2012. This is a collaboration between Avicii and Nervo. Outstanding job by them as far as the vocal performance on this song goes. Another incredible progressive house anthem. If you have not checked this out, I strongly suggest checking this out. At number 3, I have Sunshine, which came out in 2011. This is the collaboration I was talking about before between Avicii and David Guetta. This got him massive notoriety. Anytime that you link up with David Guetta, you're going to get notoriety, as he is one of the most popular crossovers between dance music and mainstream at that time, and perhaps ever. This also came out when I was in college. I remember I could not stop playing this when I was in college. This was on repeat all the time. At number 2, I have Avicii and You. This came out in 2013. Another amazing progressive house song that actually was the biggest collaboration of all time between 4,200 people from over 100 countries. Avicii made a video of this, basically showing how it was made. He allowed fans and music listeners alike to send over different sound bites and sound files, and Avicii basically took all these different sounds, used them together to create this one track. And of course, at number 1, my all-time favorite Avicii song, and one of my favorite all-time songs, period, Dancing in My Head. This came out in 2012. Had an amazing vocal performance by Eric Turner, amazing big room house tune and progressive house tune. This also came out when I was in college, and this was on repeat almost every single day for me, going back and forth to class. Remember, this always gets me nostalgic, especially because the lyrics remind me of this girl that I was crushing on at the time at college, so always reminds me of that. But overall, my all-time favorite Avicii song, and that was my list. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what your favorite Avicii songs are of all time, and of course, rest in peace, Avicii. EDM music would not have been the same without you, and now it will not be the same without you. Remember, this is just my opinion. Thank you for watching, YouTube.